Hello and welcome to LB Presents Unite on Purpose. And believe it or not, today we campaigned Unite on Purpose. And we had 144 businesses on the webinar at 9 a.m. And we launched the Unite on Purpose campaign to the world. And they had their employers on and we had all the businesses on. And within 7 minutes of campaigning, we trended on Twitter and we went on to number 8. And we have stayed there nearly all day, bouncing about the numbers. So if you would like to come and unite on purpose with us and join the purpose-led movement to be able to create unity around the world, then we would love to have you join on the Bob Earth group. So this morning, I had Gina Mula come on to the Unite on Purpose campaign. She has been on the L&D program with me now for the last 3 months. And Gina has a purpose-led design collaborative agency. And she is doing something very, very different in the world with her agency. And I believe she's somebody very important that we need to talk to. So I would love to invite Gina to now come on to the show. And so we can have a chat with her about how was it this morning to join 144 people on the campaign and unite on purpose.
I feel like I've joined you at the end of a marathon at the moment, Lindsay. The energy this morning, just on the L&D this morning, everybody's tweeting, everybody's placing messages on LinkedIn. And then, I was looking on LinkedIn and all these messages were coming up. It was amazing. I don't think I've ever experienced a campaign with such intenseness as that. It was really good. Everyone was supporting each other. Everyone was enjoying it. I think that was the main thing. I think it was fun. It was lively. People were really shouting out what their purpose was. It was brilliant. And the energy was electric. It was really good to be a part of it.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm so pleased that you're my person that's come on today. After all the energy of the morning, we get to talk purpose for the next 30
minutes. Like I'm frozen.
So Gina, I'd like to kick off the interview with, would you tell me about your business? You work with your brother, don't you, in the business?
That's right.
I can't imagine work. I've got 2 older brothers. I'm the youngest of 3. And although I love my brothers dearly, I don't know if I could imagine working with them. So talk to me about how you've come about the business and working with your brother.
Well, serendipity, really. My brother comes from a corporate background. So we feel like we're a little bit like the non-famous Lindsay and Darren of the world.
Oh, yeah.
I come from a creative background. I'm an agency founder. He's kind of global operations transformation.
Oh.
So he's like, the systematic Darren of the world. And I founded an agency. He was working in the corporate world. And we were growing and growing and growing. And at the point, like most businesses do, hit the glass ceiling, delivering incredible work globally for the likes of Nike, delivering incredible customer experiences, physical experiences. And at the point we just kind of hit this glass ceiling, we were in a bit of a mess. It was, we were behaving like a small business, but we were performing like, multi-million-pound business. At the point he was leaving the corporate world, and I asked him if he would come in and help us. And he did. And the weird thing is, my brother's 10 years older than me. So we'd never, we might chat in the car occasionally and see each other's families. But to work with him was just never really was a thing on our minds. And he came in and helped completely transform the business. We became more profitable. We kicked out great work. Our clients were happier. It was all linked back to culture, and it was all linked back to our purpose. Mm. And interestingly, 3 years after the business started, we lost our sister to breast cancer. Oh. And what was quite difficult about that time was we didn't know she was ill. So at the time we knew it was very late, and that was at the time really I kind of connected with my brother really closely. He was really there for me, and that was very early on in building the business. So I felt like, you know, I kind of lost my sister, but I found my brother.
Oh.
So when we started working together, not only was it on a business level, he was massively there for me on a kind of personal level, and we just worked brilliantly together. And then I exited the business and went traveling, and went and saw the world, and really wanted to decide what it is I wanted to do with my life, because I felt like it was becoming more about profit and we'd lost the sense of purpose. So fast forward 3.5, 4 years later, pestering my brother to come back and go, you know, I think we've got something here. Let's do something. You know, he was going, yeah, you know, I'm happy to help. He couldn't really understand. I don't know whether you had this with Darren.
Yeah.
He couldn't understand how his corporate world systematic thinking could combine with creativity and brand. And it took me a while, probably from the middle of last year, actually, up until a couple of months ago, to really convince him that actually it is one thing and it works. Wow. And so we decided to kick off Mula Shaker, and then the pandemic started.
Oh, I didn't realise that piece of the story.
Yeah, so we only went live in June. So we've actually started to build the business slap bang in lockdown. So we're kind of now trying to build awareness and find kind of forward-thinking clients who want to come on our journey. So that's where we are.
I have so many questions now to ask you. For a start, we have a very similar background, because obviously, although I don't come from as much of the design side that I think you potentially do, I come more from the growth side. So maybe a bit of a blend of your brother, a little bit. But the type of brands that we worked with are extraordinarily similar. Like, I came from working with very big brands like you know, your G-Star and the Superdries and Topshop, Miss Selfridge, Pringle, all those big brands. An agency that I was very close with did a lot of work with Nike as well, and I knew all the Adidas guys and all that. And so when you're in that world, the world is quite small, isn't it? Even though it's that big brand world, you do tend to know quite a lot of people. And I remember transitioning out of that world. And look, I stayed in that world for 19 years. So a long time. And when I met Darren, a bit similar to you, I sat with him and I kind of said, I'm fed up, got to get out, can't do this anymore, don't want the commercial side of things all the time, sick of making people lots of money, really want to do something around purpose and lead change and so forth. And he sat with me and kind of said, yeah, let's do this. And look, I understand what you're saying, because we had 3 years of trying to figure out how on earth you put two very, very, very different worlds together. And we managed it. And even now, you know, 9 years on, 8 years on from when we met, we still look at each other and I can say something and or vice versa, and we set each other off. Yeah. So my question to you is, coming out of that world and coming into the enterprise world, which is where you're now sitting, right, with more SME businesses and so forth, and not being in more the consumer world, how has it been for you transitioning over from the consumer world to the business world? What has that been like for you? That's my first question.
Great question. I'll be honest, it's hugely eye-opening. I didn't realize that there were so many people in so many businesses on so many levels, and we're all working towards the same goal. And I think that surprised me more than anything. And I think particularly when you're a founder or an entrepreneur, you're so sucked into what you do. And actually what this has helped me to do is completely open my eyes and give me an absolutely fresh perspective, and also I think a fresh confidence, actually, because all that shared experience is it's the oxygen, you know, that's firing, you know, how we say things and how we do things. And it's just been brilliant to meet similar people, and it just feels like a family. you know.
And then that's a brilliant answer. Thank you. My next question is, when I moved out of the consumer world and moved into the business world, I was used to having a campaign or work with the business or build a strategy out for them. And they wanted it all done and finished and delivered and out to market all in about 3 months. You know, and the speed within which these brands worked, and you will know this as well, you know, you were on to the next campaign and the next within a very, very short period of time. How have you find it transitioning into the business world, which is slightly slower pace?
Yeah.
You know, they want them in 3 years, not 3 months, which was that world. How have you found the pace going from one side to the other?
Massively different. I mean, you know, we would be designing, building and installing physical spaces in sometimes 12 weeks. I mean, right. It was phenomenal. And just even coming up with the strategy for Mula Shaker, I must have rewritten a deck 40 times. You know, my brother and my other colleagues would say, I'd say, you know, on email, this is the final one. And they go, yeah, okay, you know, it's just taken so long to get right. But actually, I don't feel the pressure like I felt before, because I feel like there's less pressure because it's so important to get right and feel it's right, that as soon as that message goes out, you know it's clicked. And I think that's what's been amazing about the L&D course, is it's been a huge factor in helping us shape that. You know, every week on the class, and, you know, what are your 3 words? And we were going, we don't have 3 words. And that's where we came up with uniting creativity and transformation. That was kicked out from the L&D, and those words weren't even part of our message before. So the fact that that took such a long time, I think for others was a bit like, are you still working on this? And I was like, it's got to be right, it's got to be right. So yeah, in terms of timing, I mean, it was like, you know, one side of the earth to the other. I mean, it's hugely different.
So I'm going to ask you my question that I ask everybody that comes on here, because I really want to understand what sits behind yours. So Gina Mula, what are you known for?
Have I got time for a little bit of background to this?
Yes, you have, but give me your known for first. Just give me your line. I am known for.
I am known for uniting creativity and transformation to impact climate change.
Ooh! This is going to be a good conversation. Right. Okay, now I'll have the background. That's amazing. I love that.
So I read something the other day. It really resonated with me and my experience, and the Bob Earth program, and the physical Earth that you have is your emblem. So there's something that astronauts have when they're in zero gravity looking at Earth, and it's called the overview effect. And they experience it when they're in zero gravity. And I'm looking over because I don't want to miss my notes. And what happens is this overview effect, their perspective shifts. So they see the world in a very different light, in a unified light. So this is a real thing. It's a cognitive mental state. So they see the Earth as a unified thing, and they only see patterns and connections, so no divisions, no borders. It's a real thing. And it's a transformed view, and it's something that's never seen before. And it's obviously a rare experience. So it's humbling, you know, and it changes your view on humanity. And I feel like for me, when I read that, and I read what you're doing with Bob and the emblem you have, and it's Bob Earth and it's a physical globe, for me, you're creating the overview effect. So, you know, if I wanted to change the world, and if I wanted to change how people thought, my task would be, I'd want everybody to have the overview effect.
Oh gosh, you've taken my breath away. I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that. That resonates so much with me. Okay.
It's quite powerful. It's so powerful.
That is absolutely stunning. Stunning. That is absolutely stunning. I love the overview effect as well. That is such a brilliant line for you to use with your whole business model. So
Okay.
now I want to understand, okay, so if that's your purpose and that's what you're known for, talk to me about what you want to do with that in the world. What does that mean for you on a business level? Let's go there first. What does it mean for you in a business level?
So I've worked with brands for a long time. I've seen lots of waste.
Yeah.
I've seen through traveling what we're doing to the planet. And I've seen that, you know, brands and organizations have created that. And I feel like we all have a part to play in making that better, you know, and reducing the impact. You know, we have one planet, one Earth. It's our lungs. And for me, working with brands and organizations now, we want them to create less waste, whether that's through better ways of working, a unified way of working, combining processes and systems, whatever words you want to call those, but there are no divisions, there are no borders, we just see patterns and connections. And I think once we pull that together, we have better ways of working, better work. We look at sustainable materials, sustainable ways of working, and we create less impact in the world. But we all do it with purpose. So let's really think about what our campaign is and what it means, and how we design it, how we go through that process, how we deliver it, how we reuse it, how we repurpose it, how do we take it forwards. So for me, it's around that thought process goes through all parts of that journey. So it's all about the overview effect, reducing impact, and it's towards the race to net zero. It's creating the world a better place for communities, for people, for the planet. And, you know, if everybody thought like that, if we all had the overview effect, then I think we would get there.
So with Bob, we have a thing. When I sat with Darren and I said to him, I just want to shift the world into a new era through the eyes of brands. My belief was that we could build brands to shift industries to make a positive change in the world. And, you know, what if we could shift education and health and manufacturing and retail, and we could all come together as a collective to be able to make that shift. And I said to him that, you know, big institutions are never going to make the change. The change will come from the individuals and not come from, you know, from the institutions. And so if I said to you, okay, you've made it, you've done it, what would be what if I took you up to a societal or a world space and I said, Gina Mula, you have done that, what would it be? For us, it was like one Earth, 1 billion purposes, or like, you know, to shift the world into a new era. What would it be for you? Is there something that kind of sits there for you?
Gosh, that's a huge question. I'm listening to everybody else answer that. They have very powerful answers. For me, it's about, and it's part of our strap line, it's about creating work that matters. So we think, design and build for brands to create work that matters. So for me, everything we do has to matter, and it has to matter in a positive way. So what does that world look like? It means every single thing we do has a reason behind it, and it's got to be for good.
I just had a thought for you. If you're into the astronaut and the planet, what about if you're creating new matter?
Lindsay, that's fantastic. Can I write that down?
That is my gift for you on this interview. You are all about creating new matter.
Love it.
That's what will really make the change.
Love it.
I've got goosebumps all up my legs and all up my arms.
I love it. I absolutely love that. I'm going to write about that. Fantastic.
There you go. That's your thing. Oh, Raki's just put amazing. I just saw it when you said it and I went, matter, that word, that comes with astronauts and going on the planet, right? Oh, Gina. Oh,
Lindsay, that's amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. Isn't it? Andrew Russell, exactly. I am speechless. Gina is absolutely beautiful. I love it. Okay, Gina. It's Unite on Purpose Day. And you were with me this morning.
I was?
So I am. Hang on, wait there. I'm putting it in the bag. Boris came round. I'm passing you the bag. Here, take mine. You got it?
Yeah.
Right, got it. Good. In my bag, it's got the keys. Boris gave me them. And he said, I'd like you to give them to Gina today, because I know Gina's will do something really special with it. And you've got the whole rest of the day to do whatever you want. What are you going to do, Gina, on the Unite on Purpose Day?
I'm going to create and write a manifesto based on creating new matter.
Great. Oh my goodness. Could I put a little forward or something in that? I would love to do that.
Oh my God, yes, definitely.
All right, you're on. We'll do that. That's amazing. And Boris, you might not need those keys back for a while. I think the girls will sort out the whole of the UK for a period of time. Check that out. All right. So, Gina, thank you so much for coming on today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Before you leave, could I ask you, what's been the journey like? Because you've just gone on a whole journey for 3 months with your brother. You've opened up your business in the pandemic with him. How has it been going through the L&D program? What's been your key learnings coming out of it? What have you got from the two sides, from myself and Darren? And then how has that been applying that into your business through the pandemic?
Gosh, okay, hopefully I'm going to cover everything. I think genuinely the L&D came at such a perfect time for us. We needed the energy and the confidence. I certainly needed that. I needed to feel connected. I feel like if it had just been us on our own, I think genuinely we probably would have felt a bit lost.
Yeah.
It's given us the tools, you know, when we're looking at product sales, brand, channels, you know, it's really helped us interconnect all of those products. Every week we do the homework. You know, our deck is probably about 20 pages long with every week we're thinking about the wording and how we're going to push the channels, how you know, do we want to be gurus? Do we want to be celebrities? Do we want to be advocates? How are we going to push
a guru and you're in the humanitarian box? I absolutely know it. And if you did the chart and you don't know where the box is, I will send you it over and you can show me where it is, and I bet you come out as that space. Great.
And I think that's what this course has done. You know, it's given us those tools that we never would have had before. And it's just, you know, I've ran businesses but I've never experienced this before, and I've never experienced a community like this. And I don't ever see myself leaving the Bob group, actually. I just feel like, I know it's just going to continue and continue. I've loved it. So I think the way Mel and I connect with yourself and Darren is perfect. He relates, I relate. It, you know, tick, 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 tick. I mean, I could go on, but I know we're going to run out of time.
Thank you so much, because we, you know, when we built the Bob community, we actually built it as a family. And my thing was around how do you create unity, hence why it's the whole campaign. And I always believe that you need to have proper engagement, which means family engagement. It's like an extended family in your business. And when you give love, when you give rather than wanting to receive, you get huge amounts of receiving back. And so that's what we've always tried to do. And interestingly, and you saw Andrew come on here as one of massive part of the Bob family from Aaron, who kicked off the campaign. And our whole thing has been about how do we go out and help the business community. And, you know, when you have people like yourself come on, are hugely refreshing. And I see all these different people that come around us. I genuinely believe that, but through all these people's eyes, we do go out and build brands to shift industries to make a positive change in the world. And it lives out my purpose of why I'm doing what I'm doing, to shift the world into a new era through the eyes of brands. So I wanted to say thank you very much. You are wonderful and perfect for my Unite on Purpose Day, because this is the day when we launched the campaign, and it's been truly wonderful to get to know you on the interview. And also thank you so much for coming on the L&D program, because when you are a brother and a sister, I get to work with my best friend, with Darren, every day, who is like my work husband, my brother. And so I do get to experience that same thing, as I feel like what you've been going through with your brother as well. So it's really wonderful to see from your side as well. So thank you.
Thank you. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. And thank you, everybody, for coming on to my LB Presents Unite on Purpose Day. This is Unite on Purpose Day today, and do mark it in the diary, because it's going to be Unite on Purpose Day this day every year. And as you just heard, I am aiming to get one Earth with 1 billion purposes. So do join the quiet revolution and build a brand to shift an industry to make a positive change in the world. And remember, come and see me spinning around the globe on bobearth.com, and you will find some incredible people, because all these people that I've been interviewing every day are all living and are citizens on the brand new Earth, Bob Earth. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, 5 o'clock.